Yeah, I'm on your channel right now. Mhm.
Now everyone should be able to hear me on the stream. For those of you who are hearing me real time in TeamSpeak, if you want to hear the stream, in which case mute TeamSpeak. With that being said, I'll reiterate, it's going to be an easy playthrough of Blacklist. I'm going to try to have it on pretty much all the highest graphic settings, Ultra, so everyone can enjoy it. We can get. The only thing I won't adjust is the anti-aliasing, as FXAA is pretty dang good. Will, however, turn. Rock 4X on that.
Your microphone's pretty low compared to the game audio.
Microphone's pretty low. All right.
Yeah.
And the game audio is pretty loud.
Yeah.
Tell me if that's any better. Not all these settings are gonna be effective. Be beautiful for anyone watching. If you want, you're more than welcome to go ahead and put some comment. Desktop. It's pretty cool when streaming with the Elgato. I have it full screen live, and it actually shows as on air as the live view, but it's the full screen of the laptop, almost as if I'm playing it on the laptop. That's my son in the background crying. Dream authentic. Hey, you know that I'm not a bot. Oh no! Run along. And I know the graphics are going to be uber crazy as far as the stream goes. I have a really bad upload right now, and I'm going to be working on it as more of you guys watch. Free to donate. I'm trying to push the highest bitrate 480p that I can, but when I have the ability, I can definitely push 1080p. Hopefully the good options that I've chosen for high graphics will make a difference. Definitely had to start that up. I don't know about all these different places starting up their own little game stores. Origin seems to be pretty good and has always been good. But Uplay interoperability with Steam, but other than that, it has caused issues in my gaming life time to time. Looks like that was probably my bad by accidentally. Beautiful game, lots of good graphics. Should be about to start here. Any comments?
Yeah, I mean it's getting a bit confusing these days trying to remember, oh, I have this game on this, I have this game on that, and this game on that. They just need to kind of come together and just centralize one database of all your games.
Amen. Amen. And it's like that a lot nowadays. You get stuck with, trying to remember what's on what. And it's nice that it's online because then you don't have to remember the game keys anymore. You don't have scratch disk. You can download the newest updates super easy. But yeah, it's like which one do I have where? And sometimes they let you have them on 2 platforms, which is nice, but then you decide, hey, which one do I actually want to install it from? So definitely it's something to be talked about there. But here we are, going to go ahead and... Go ahead.
For example, like Blacklist, when we got my sister's graphics card, we got Blacklist and Assassin's Creed for free, but we had to make Ubiplay accounts.
Right. Exactly. I feel like they're complete. If now there's a cool thing, customization for another time, that allows you to go ahead and use voice commands for a lot of this stuff. I'm a huge fan of the program. I've already done a couple reviews on it in different games, but it'll be really interesting. Definitely when I go ahead and use the command for like vision modes, or doing different gadgets and stuff like that, so I don't have to remember all these different buttons like change vision mode. I could just say change vision mode, and it will be like, oh yeah.
Right.
With that being said, and also cycle between lethal and non-lethal, or toggle lethal, non-lethal. I don't know what I would say for that, but you can say that in the program and it automatically does it. We have to set up one thing, execute, and that. Did I just mess that up? And down. Wheel up, previous. So it should be happy now. Alright, and so I'm just going to do difficulty, normal, mouse keyboard. And some other things you can do, especially with stream. You look good and whatnot, but you know what, I'm old school. I like you to kind of see what actually can be at. Notice I can move my guy around. Go ahead and jump in here. Interestingly enough, a lot of the research has shown that gaming, in games like this, which is third person, can actually help tactics as you adjust to things. I'm talking over it.
Several locations, most notably around Guam. We're also seeing unusual behavior in certain sectors of the weapons market, and I think we should make a move on this, sir.
It's interesting work, Agent Briggs.
Okay, so they're talking about different stuff that we're supposed to do in game.
That'll be all, Briggs. We can't throw all the resources at every possible hunch.
A cool thing that you'll notice about this game is that your friends kind of show up on net. So as your friends make a high score, if you beat the different stuff, you get different little perks, in-game money and stuff. Kind of cool. Usually pretty easy to do if you're a decent player, which I usually am. But we'll see here.
What do we have in Benghazi?
My contact is at a CIA safe house. They've detained a subject with intel on Guam, but no one gets to ask questions until they're done with them.
So, Tom Clancy always does cutscenes and usually tries to make a relatively good storyline.
With a sick sense of humor.
This game is no different.
There's something you're not telling me?
Dude's name is Andrew Coben. Does that mean anything?
Anyone who follows the Tom Clancy franchise, as far as Splinter Cell, knows that Coben is not exactly Sam's
We know this guy.
favorite guy.
We need to know what would make a wanted arms dealer turn itself into the
It'll
CIA
explain itself here for people who haven't followed the series.
Why don't we just leave the interrogation to the CIA?
You can forget the company man bullshit, Briggs. You're on our team now.
Understood.
Am I missing something?
He's our only connection to the engineers. We're not trusting this to someone else.
Who is Andrei Kobin?
Face mapping is pretty good.
Pretended to kill my daughter to give someone leverage over me.
Whoa. How is he even still alive?
Good question.
Very good question.
What's our move, Sam?
Very cool twist in this game. They give you the opportunity to take missions as you want them and adjust the storyline accordingly. I find this really cool because sometimes you don't want to run into a mission. You might want more recon. You might want more money and backing to adjust your character. And I think this is really cool. So, but I am going to launch it because I think it's the only mission anyway. So let's go kick some butt.
That's a bad neighborhood.
I know, weird, right? Because usually the CIA tries to keep their Middle East ops super obvious.
Focus.
I love the
best
smart
approach
ass
is through
guys.
the bazaar here. You give the signal, my contact departs the safe house. It'll be a clear run at Kobin.
It always looks easy on a screen, Graham.
To be clear, Sam, we are talking about an extraction, not killing him.
You're up. Show me viable positions for Overwatch.
Best sight lines are here and there.
Looks good. Grab a suppressed sniper kit.
Am I providing cover or am I taking out a target, sir?
Charlie, rustle us up some transport, would you? Somebody have blends, panel van?
You got it.
You didn't answer my question, Sam.
You just worry about a viable spot for exfil. Something here. Everyone clear? Let's make this prep quick.
Flight deck, we are go for Benghazi.
Grim says you gotta keep Coben alive, so it's nothing lethal. Recommended gear starts with smoke and flashbangs, not frags.
You get to kind of adjust things up, which is really nice. You can kind of choose your own setup. Obviously, many times this is very much customized to the mission. Sometimes you're going to find some defaults that you like that are just your favorites and you're better with than what necessarily normal people would choose for that mission, and you can still go ahead and do that. There's a lot of customization that you can. I love the sticky camera. Yum to me. You can equip it with flash charges. By default, I think it comes with sleeping gas. Yeah, it does. You can attract people with it and knock them out, which is pretty fun. Definitely quite helpful. Sure that I have them set up. I can't afford anything else on that. That's fine. My op suit, torso. I'm running the Eclipse, which is good. Boots are Eclipse. Lights are Eclipse or white. I like the pants. Obviously, Eclipse. Best. There are some other suits that you can choose for different positives and negatives. Do you have any thoughts on this, Thomas?
As far as the game is concerned, the different positives and negatives on the suit are really kind of your personal choice. In the end, it's all about your tactics in the game. In the suit's positives and negatives will just give you that little advantage when you slip up.
I wouldn't necessarily call it an oversight. You know, there are going to be suits that are just kind of generally better. And you'll notice my exclusive 4E Eclipse suit, generally everything has really good stats. So when you go ahead and improve that suit, it's just going to make that much difference. So that's why you're going to see a lot of people who have that suit. They're probably that suit. That being said, we'll go ahead and get back into the match. You can control your pistol. I'm running a silenced F40. You start off with the 45 Storm, but I find the F40's extra power, accuracy, range, and control, you'll notice it's pretty much a +1 on each of those, completely allow that to be a superior weapon. Now, I do like the 5.7 USG in real life. However, I don't know how 100% that transfers into this game. So that'll be something when I can afford it in the game, I will probably be playing around with because that's a lot of fun. Now, when you get these weapons, you can customize them as well. I have money to do so, but I don't think I'll customize this one that much, seeing as upgrade. This means I'm going to have to be very careful with how I use this weapon, because normally you're going to want to customize it with at least a laser sight, hollow point, or armor piercing, depending on which tactics you're going to. If you do a double tap or you go primarily for headshots, hollow point's a great. But if you're mostly going for center mass at longer distances, armor piercing, or even match grade is going to give you the added accuracy that's going to help. Keep in mind, I'm not a pro gamer. I'm your average run-of-the-mill guy who likes to play games and have fun, and I'm just sharing this with you guys and some of my opinions, because they're exactly that, my opinions. If you dissent, go ahead and write it down in the comments. Just let me know. You can be a douche. I will just ignore you if you will. But if you have something positive to bring to the conversation, I'll definitely look at it and respond, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that happens here. I'm just going to call this my alpha suit, because it's kind of me getting used to the things and they really have this time. So we're going to go ahead and exit and launch the mission. Now, Tom Clancy, and I think, Thomas, you probably, it's one of those series that pretty much everything you do, you have a choice to run and gun or be stealthy. But just like in real life, usually being stealthy is a better option. Do you be stealthy usually, or do you like the running and gunning?
Yeah, it depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm going through a mission and it's a really open area and there's maybe one or two guys, I'll go for the risky run and gun. But if I'm in a trying to clear a building and there's a good dozen guys around, I'll go for the more stealthy approach.
And you just run and gun because it's fun, right?
Oh yeah. Plaza. Militia's blocking the front door.
Interestingly enough, this game makes being stealthy just as fun, if not more fun sometimes, than run and gun. You can tell how beautiful they make this game.
Let me know if you get through.
Lots of detail, even on a relatively big level, and you'll see that there's multiple areas and multiple ways to the same level many times.
In the alley.
This is where I become Senor Badass.
Any update from your contact?
Negative.
Militia's everywhere, Sam.
Told you this would get messy.
Yeah. So, obviously now, I tend to stick out a little. Interesting note. You'll see that I'm running, actual weapons are on my back. It's not just, you know, representative weapons. These are the weapons that I've chosen in the loadout, customized the way they're supposed to be, actually taking up real estate. They're on my back, which is another great thing about this game. They love being dedicated to that sort of precision. So if I hold down, you can see my different options. I'm going to rock the sticky camera probably, and so taking cover here. They have a great cover system, which they've really perfected through so many. This is kind of teaching us some of the different things that we need to do. If you have anything you want to add, Thomas, just go ahead.
Well, as far as iron sights go in a lot of these games, if you look at most of the games ranging from Battlefield, Call of Duty, to even some of the more third-person shooter games that allow you to zoom in with the iron sights, they try their best to do representation, but it's also all whatever the developers feel like doing and the graphic designers. they'll get close, but then they'll be like, nah, that doesn't really seem very practical to us, and they'll go and adjust them, like, slightly, but if you're a true gun enthusiast, you'll notice those slight variations.
No time. I'm moving in.
Right. That's a good point. In a game like this, Iron Sights is not really one of the expected features, being that it's a third-person game and it's dedicated to using your cover and being stealthy. And unlike in Battlefield 4, for instance, where the Iron Sights is gorgeous as far as really giving you a feel of being behind the weapon. Again, that is a complete difference in game. First-person shooter, military-based rather than special ops-based. Just some interesting things to pay attention to there. Now, one of the great things about this is whenever you see lights kind of shimmering, it's not necessarily that everyone else can see that. That helps you understand when your character is in a shadow and people can't see him. Pretty cool. And you can see he quickly moves from spot to spot. And I can use this guy as a human shield. I can knock him out. I can mark him. Now, sometimes you mark guys not necessarily because you're going to execute them, but to keep track of kind of how many and what guys are there. Like, I really want to take him down, but if I do a non-lethal takedown on him, two guys will just completely destroy me. I can take him as a human shield. Hey, Thomas, do you want me to go ahead and do that, or do you want me to just take him down as efficiently as I can? Oh, we might have lost Thomas over there. That, or I'm commenting a little bit earlier than it's showing the stream. Don't know. I think we're going to go ahead, go for a quiet kill with the pistol. I'm going to go for a lethal takedown. I didn't notice. Gorgeous. Then I can go for an execute. Shoot, the execute didn't work. Didn't work. And I got taken down. I pushed the wrong button because I've changed that. That kind of sucked. But we'll go ahead and try that again.
Was that door open already?
Took care of that pretty quickly, so he can. Took one of them out. That kind of shadow area is showing where they saw me last. So that was a classic double tap right there. Close quarters combat. Should have done that a lot cleaner. I did it better the first time, but hey, it is what it is. Make sure I'm on down this hall. I'm not going to pick up that weapon. Another cool, you can take out lights in this game, but it can't draw attention. Be careful.
Charlie, found a flash drive.
Sweet. I'll scrub it for leads on the engineers and let you know what I find.
Damn, you've got multiple targets ahead. One on the balcony.
Is there a viable stealth approach?
Go into the room to your right, out the window and traverse the ledge.
Nice work.
Do non-lethal since they split up. As soon as he gets close. Notice non-lethal takes a moment there, so you want to make sure that you have a moment. That was not the smooth. Multiple flips of that switch. Now this is where they were saying I could go. The guy decided to go in there and be careful. Oh, he decided to go in the... Yeah, I can find a switch. You can open and close stuff, which is nice. Shit!
he's still alive.
He was knocked unconscious. Spread out and search. استمروا. ما فيش حاجة هنا. هذا مش موجود هنا. حركوا. المكان أمان هنا.
Rifle. But now they know where we're at. I'm down. I'm gonna go ahead and alt-tabbing here. What's that? Thomas, you still here? You disappeared from me.
Yeah, sorry. 4G internet.
So, I failed because I used unsuppressed weapon on a part that I should have known not to.
Multiple targets ahead. One on the balcony.
This is a viable stealth approach.
Split.
Go into the room to your right. Out the window.
They're coming
and traverse
together.
the ledge.
Nice work.
Probably have to go for lethal. In fact, that did not work very smoothly. Aim together. So you notice the gameplay, definitely quite dynamic. You can hear the gunfire. They're searching around for me. I'm jumping out the window. If anyone comes, this time.
Hey, you.
On. And I go, hey, you're going for a ride. Yeah. Oh, my bro.
المكان أمان هنا. ما فيش حاجة هنا. position, Sam.
Any sign of our contact?
Can't confirm.
Roger that.
You got anything out of your prisoner? Yeah. Yeah. No, nobody's come looking yet. Hey, hang on a second.
Shit. Ah, man, not what I want. What I want. Not much. I'll take him. Not as clean as I'd like it to be, but
It's not him.
it's what. Oh,
Confirmed Coben was in here, Briggs.
Right place, right build. I assume,
Don't make assumptions when I'm on the ground. Clear?
Sam, talk to me.
Your contact's been made. He's dead.
You got more militia en route. Advise you move out, sir.
All right, I need options. Now would be good.
Give me a minute.
Oh yeah, it's all me, baby. Pass the phone through the ops hat. I can hack this cheap bootleg crap easy.
All right, Charlie, I'm patched.
Okay, yes.
Come on, Charlie.
beautiful way to display data.
There is a lot of freaky porn on here.
We're looking for a location.
Right. I traced the call. Pushing the location to your ops set now. Whoa, not good. It's a police station.
Briggs, prep for fast evac.
Roger that.
Yes.
Enemy transport dropping hostiles.
Placed out here back then when you were clearing that room and things went wrong. I would have just immediately switched to my primary.
Right.
weapons.
Right. Yeah. Which may have been good. My primary is an attack rifle, though, and I want to try to save that ammo for longer engagements, but I definitely know exactly what you're talking about. You would have dropped the stealth immediately and just gone for the easy, quick kills, right?
Right.
Yeah. And by all means, that would have been definitely one way to go. One thing to keep in mind with my current setup, I haven't customized much either, though. So, I'm running with pretty bare bones weapons here. So, oops. Drop. Run up the wall. Got it. Okay, so we have a guy here. We're gonna try to get him. This guy over here. Execute him. Yeah, over here. Over here. Yeah, those are hands, aren't they? Hey. Goodbye. Yeah, I could have knocked him out probably and still had a good position. I saw someone over there. Get ready, I only had 2 in the clip. That will be the death of you if you forget to reload. In real life and in games, obviously.
I'm uploading a shortcut to the police station. It'll be on your ops set.
Roger that.
Restock all my stuff here. Come on, restock. There we go. Stuff like this, you have really cool options to drop. Take people down on your drop. How'd you like that kill?
This game is definitely interesting, and the multiplayer aspect is something I'm looking forward to playing when I get back.
Spread out and search.
Right. Well, interesting thing that they do in this multiplayer is they allow users to go into a first-person mode that generally Tom Clancy doesn't usually dabble in, as mercs. So it's kind of a little bit of a shake-up. You're used to playing this stealthy, really highly trained spy with these cool gadgets and strengths and sneakiness, and then you're playing against spies in multiplayer as a merc that has like practically no skills, just brute force and weapons, you know. It's definitely an interesting departure. That guy just barely missed me. He's going to come forward and I'm going to go, "Hey, buddy." Yeah, I didn't think so. I think there may be a guy up top there that I'm just kind of avoiding. I don't want to come into contact with every enemy if possible. I just need to get past them and do my mission, you know. A lot of people want to kill everyone, and you know what? If I can knock them out or if I can stun them, I'd much rather do that. But sometimes you're stuck in a bad positions like here, where I can get surrounded really quickly and easily. I could probably zip line down from there. Too far away to see me, though. See, they notice some of their people are missing. And that guy's going to notice me, so I have to take him.
I will cover you.
See, I usually just go down the stairs. I've played this a little bit, but I lost my save games. Shit. What would you take as options, Thomas?
There's not really that heavy of an enemy presence, so the insecurity of the zip line being out in the open is not that big of a deal. If there was a heavier enemy presence, I'd probably take the stairs, as they're more secure, and you know that you can just stop and have some kind of cover, whereas the zip line, you're out open and available to be shot. Essentially, if you think about it, this game is really about your decisions on risk and reward. So if you have, you know, a high risk and a high reward, it may be worth it. But if you do a high risk and low reward, it's just the stupider option.
Makes sense. Come on. Good point.
Sam, I'm seeing a high-value target. Single digits on Langley's most wanted. If you capture him, we'll arrange for pickup.
High-value target, eh? All right. Go high-value target. No, it has to be below me.
An interesting thing that you did a little bit ago was you were seen by an enemy after you took one guy out after the zip line, and so you just kind of went around, went into that little shack and just hid, and they went to where you were, and then you're scotch free, ready to go.
Yeah. Well, and that goes right back to the. Some people think of it as a game, and they think about killing everyone and this and that. But when you think of it in real life terms, which is, this is a tactical game, it's the mission that's important. And whether it's an enemy or not, the preservation of life actually many times will be a better reward than just taking out everything you can, regardless of your objective. Got to capture here. He's on our most wanted. Bust through this door.
See, in a situation like this, where you have two entry options, you have the window and you have the door. You know the target's in that room somewhere. So while the HVT had his back turned, what I probably would do is I'd probably open up the window and then just kind of bull rush him. As long as there's nobody else in the room and he's the only one in there, I would just open up the window, go non-lethal, bull rush him, and knock him out.
Right. And that's definitely one of the different options that I was weighing in my head. But my problem was I was worried that I'd get in here and you see all this high explosive stuff. I was worried that he might shoot or I might shoot, and then all of a sudden we're both kaboom. So what I opted to do, although you had a very good plan of attack, I opted to make a noise by the door. I don't know if anyone heard it, but I just kind of whistled and said, hey, he got ready because he heard something at the door, squaring himself up with the door. So I just went ahead and bashed the door in, knocked him unconscious, and tagged him, bagged him.
Nice.
So, makes things easy.
Grim, what's the best route to Coven?
I don't know if it gave it to me. I told it to tag and bag, but who knows.
And that's just the many different ways this game can possibly go, and it's all dependent on the player, really.
Exactly.
You see right there that, here's this side target that comes up. He's a high-value target, and, my plan of attack was just get there quick and move on to the next objective, where you thought of it a little bit more tactically of, hey, why don't I just come over here, make a noise, and then take him down by, kicking him through the door.
Right, which interestingly enough seemed a little bit more rash because I was busting open the door, but I was using non-explosive method to knock him unconscious, reducing my risk of exposure to those explosive things that I saw through the window, and to others being alerted of my presence.
Right.
I love peeking under doors. I know. I'd rather know what I'm going into. It doesn't always work though. Like right here, we see all sorts of crazy stuff going on.
And one thing I have to admit that I've noticed with other Tom Clancy multiplayers, although I haven't played this game's multiplayer yet, is whenever you have the spies going against the spies, 1v1, that kind of stuff, you definitely notice a change in the players as the time goes on. As one player starts to pull ahead in points and the other one starts to fall back, the one that's falling back will get more aggressive, whereas the one that's ahead will get more stealthy, start following the tactics that they'll usually use in single player.
Right. It's a good point. And especially with the spies, in the mercs of this game, the spies don't have much. They have like knives and some pretty weak weapons until they level up. So you're not getting into crazy firefights usually. You're getting into fights of stealth versus brawn, which poses its own predicaments.
Sure.
Shit. How I missed that. A little bit much commentary, I guess, and a little bit less focus. You lose focus for just a moment in a game like this, And just like in real life, everything's super high speed, low drag, and it can just snowball. You hear, they know that I'm in the area now, they're unhappy. I need to lethal takedowns. Shit. Him down. The other guy ran past me. Didn't even notice that his friend got taken down. Don't need him coming up behind me. Now there's a good example of how I can't leave a straggler to come up on my 6, even though, you know, generally I would be a bit more non-lethal.
And when you compare this game to another tactical game like Battlefield, Battlefield is definitely a team tactical game. You have to be supporting your team, playing with your team, utilizing your squad to the maximum. But in the end, it really comes down to, you know, who gets the right bullet where when it needs to be there. Whereas this game is a lot more of the right decision, because you can just start a snowball effect. You know, you make the wrong move early in the game and it may snowball all the way to the end, where you go to make a decision again right there at the end and you make the wrong decision.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and you know, that's kind of in real life as well. You know, one decision can set off a chain, whereas in games like Battlefield 4, don't get me wrong, realism, first-person shooting, adrenaline, firefights, but yeah, you don't have a lot of those things that get set into motion so much, where the paths, you know, can become so different. You're still in a firefight, you're still taking one objective.
Exactly. And if Battlefield, like my sister told me once, you know, the most realistic shooter game you could ever have is you're in a round, you have one life, all of the vehicles have one life, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Right. But that notoriously makes a difficult game that people give bad reviews to because they're not good at playing it. And one mistake can cause your demise.
Exactly. So it's a trade-off.
Balance.
You know, Battlefield's trying to get as much realism as they can, but they're not. You know, they're trying to make it pleasable to, you know, just the casual player or the pro players, depending on who's playing.
Right. Well, that's like an interesting thing. You know, not to get too off topic about games, but you know, we'll probably have a discussion here coming up about the upcoming games. This goes right into a talk that could be had about Division and Titanfall. You know, Titanfall being cited as, you know, a lot of people upset that it's only 6-on-6. Whereas if you look at the elements in the game, you look at what's being done, usually you'll come to the conclusion with a little hands-on or a little bit more information that 6-on-6 is a really good platform for that game. We'll make great competition. We'll make good gameplay. More isn't always better. And we see that in games like PlanetSide, and we see it in games like Battlefield, where they have a high player count, but a lot of times more people getting upset because the balance and, you know, the gameplay just isn't as refined. Shoot.
Right, and you know, 6-on-6, if you look at a lot of professional tournaments for games, whether it range from Call of Duty, Battlefield, I can't remember other games off the top of my head. But you look at a lot of these games, and these tournaments range to maybe 10 people. Maybe.
Right. I don't know if you saw that, or how delayed my voice is on the stream, but I just opted, rather than having to shoot that dog, I went ahead and sleep gassed him with my crossbow. I don't know if he'll wake up anytime soon, but it seemed like a good option. I wasted the first shot by not shooting in the correct area, though, so that was kind of a...
Heads up, Sam. The police station's just around the corner.
Copy that. Briggs, what's your status?
I'm almost on site. I scoped out a rooftop 200 meters south of the police station. Eyes on the compound and the
Essentially,
street out front.
what they're doing with their game is what I consider... How would I put it? They're setting their up to be a tournament-style game. So, you look at, Call of Duty, for example. The matches are usually like 15 versus 15 or 10 versus 10. I can't remember what the newest one is. And yeah, that's great and fine, but you go to competition, it's usually 5v5.
Right.
Why? Because that's what the map size allows for, not exploiting the respawning issue that Call of Duty has.
Right.
And the respawning issue, in my opinion, is just because of how small the maps are and the massive amount of people they have playing on it.
Right.
Battlefield, you have a ginormous map, but for the map size to player ratio, it works out for the respawn points.
Right. Exactly. And, that's something that a lot of times gamers don't take into account. They want more of their friends, or they want more people in. Shit. Those dogs are brutal. That's exactly what I didn't need. Ah, frick, I couldn't hand-to-hand him. You know what? You're down. They know I'm out here. This dumb schmuck who walks through this door.
What do we do next? Take it easy. You won't get away. Be careful. Don't go away.
They're all worried about that door. You notice that?
Ruder has disappeared. Let's move out and find him. I think the shooter's over there.
I don't know if that'll pay off.
Keep his head down. I'm going in. I'm on it.
They saw something move. They're just shooting. Keep cool.
There he is.
One thing I noticed here, just a little bit ago when that guy ran past after you killed the dog, first you tried to obviously take him out by emptying your clip of your silenced weapon, but then you switched to
Go ahead.
your unsilenced pistol, which in the end killed him. And again, in that little variation of how play styles differentiate between people, is in that situation what I probably would have done is, after emptying my silence clip, if I hadn't been spotted yet, which this game does have a little bit of weird moments where even though at that time when he was engaging you, it wasn't necessarily gonna spot you with like the little ghost thing. I would have probably tried to run up and bash him in the face with my handgun.
Exactly. So this time I'm going to do what I can to stay on the right side and silent. Don't really want a gunfight if I can help it. There's so many. They're all pissed off.
And again, it's one of those risk-reward things. Like, if you think about it, with the ammunition that you have in your weapon, you more than likely could probably take them all out eventually. But then, what do you run the risk of? Alerting everybody in the local area. More gunfight, less ammunition for the mission. And a lot of senseless killing, really. I mean,
Exactly.
yes, But if you can avoid killing them, then avoid killing them.
Exactly. And, see, I just bypassed all of these people right now. Now, it doesn't mean it won't come to still bite me in the butt. But I might be able to bypass them all. Another interesting thing about this game, they let you close doors a lot. I love that.
Sam, what's your status?
I'm inside, making sure I'm not followed. You have a lock on Coben's location?
Best bet is a secure interrogation room. Top floor, south side.
Briggs, pull out. Pick up the van and rendezvous at extraction.
Copy that.
I'm going in.
Honestly, I think the big appeal of this series of game specifically is the fact that a lot of the games these days are just missing that stealth aspect. Battlefield 4 could be a hell of a lot more interesting if the stealth was a little bit better. I mean, in all honesty, if there was a sniper wearing a ghillie suit, you more than likely probably wouldn't be able to find him if he was a good sniper.
But after a shot or two, he would be outed because of his weapon, and it would lead more of that realism to the game. People wouldn't be running and sniping. People would make those shots count with a spotter or what have you, and then move on.
Right.
Instead, we get the running and gunning of snipers, and we get these snipers that are just shooting from the same place forever and a day, and it's not very realistic either.
And in honesty, I think certain games, for example Battlefield,
right,
should maybe make it to where certain really high caliber weapons, like 50 caliber snipers, cannot be fired standing up. Because you're not going to shoot a 50 caliber sniper in real life standing up.
Right. Good point.
I mean, even a 50 caliber sniper shooting it from the kneeling, you're going to have a bad day.
Yeah, exactly.
لا مش مهم دلوقتي. حول القناة رقم 14. قلت 14. 14.
That's one of my biggest turnoffs for Call of Duty is, I have a lot of respect for the Battlefield Call of Duty series fight. People can have their fights about the whichever game they like, but in the end, they're two completely different games. One's tactically team-based, and the other one is, individual game, really. You just, as long as you yourself can hit people on the battlefield,
right,
you're fine. You don't have to worry about your team.
Exactly.
And it's like, you want to say that, Battlefield's better than Call of Duty. Yes, in a tactical sense. But then you could also argue that Call of Duty is better in Battlefield and more of a, if you like to play as an...
Right, in the running, gunning, adrenaline sense of Call of Duty. It has its pluses and minuses as well. There's too many of them right now, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm not going non-lethal. I'm just afraid if I take the time to non-lethal someone here, someone else is going to see me, smell me, think I might be there, and then all of a sudden I have 5 people all competing about who wants to put lead in my rear end. Vision Zooey. you know, anyone who hasn't played this game doesn't get just how close I'm having to cut some of these kills. You know, when that detection meter reaches a point, everyone gets alerted. And you have a lot of reinforcements in areas that you don't want reinforcements. Your rear end. Would you be letting them get as close as I am to do these sorts of kills, or would you be relying more on headshots in silenced weapons?
They set up shop in the police station. They've set up computers. Plug in your offsite if you find one. We should be able to get some useful data from it.
Tell me now.
Oh, looks like we lost them due to
Tell me what you told the Americans.
we lost our commentary from Thomas due to his crappy internet. He'll be back though.
Why did you run to the Americans?
I told you it has nothing to do with you. Nothing, I swear to God!
So, you are saying we are not important enough to turn us in? Is that it?
No, I'm not saying that. No. What I'm saying
Yalla.
is...
You talk too much.
I thought you wanted me to.
Don't think. It gets you in trouble.
Oh, God. Okay. Fucking told them everything, okay?
I've located Coben.
Is he alive?
For now.
Oh, so my internet's been really shoddy today.
Yeah, no, she dropped. I was just asking you whether you would let people get as close as I have to make the silent kills, or if you'd be using your firearm more.
Who are you? CIA?
Well,
Oh, you have got to be fucking shitting me!
I'm still getting used to the shooting system in Blacklist, so as far as stealth kills, I'd actually probably be going for stealth kills more.
And I also pointed out that, you know, people don't realize how close I'm cutting some of these kills by letting them get so close or using non-lethal in the times that I do.
Sam, it's about to get ugly. Local talent's closing
Oh
on
yeah,
your
because
position.
one mistake, one misclick, one, you know, wrong silent kill at the wrong time, and you know, you screwed yourself.
Yep. And like, especially now, you know, where I have a hostage that I'm having to deal with, my mobility is destroyed. I have no lasers, so I have to center body mass that.
Coben is sure as hell lucky that.
Yep, true that. And you know, we have such bad blood. It's lucky I have self-control. Interesting note, these fire extinguishers can make good concealment, causing a little puff of smoke when you shoot them. I'm not going to shoot them.
Are you kidding me? I'm not even wearing shoes.
You know what would be interesting? Lately, the Call of Duty series, they're single player. Although Call of Duty's not world renowned for their single player.
What? Why?
Do it.
But they have been doing something interesting with your end determines what you do throughout the campaign. So there may be a time where you decide to shoot this one guy, and you know, I decide not to shoot that guy, our ending may change. We may
Right.
have 2 different endings.
Which is kind of cool. It's interesting too. They used to be a lot more into the single player name. They kind of started as single player Call of Duty, World War One and Two ish, cool story stuff, where they got into multiplayer and they actually excelled kind of midway into the series. They did drop a lot of that stuff off, and now they're in a weird predicament where they're trying to provide a single player game, but the multiplayer is really what most people care about. Or I'm speaking for myself, that's what I care about. And interestingly enough, studios now are dropping single player components completely for multiplayer because they understand that people, like me, I want to play this game and be able to play it with my friends as much as possible. Doesn't mean I don't want to sometimes play it alone, like I'm playing it alone right now, but there is an option for me to play a lot of co-op things in this game that allow me to kind of feel the single-player campaign with my friend coming along. Also, just kind of circling around, segue here, you'll notice it's about to rate me in my each of my different styles of progression through this level. So, respectable ghost score. Not amazing, I don't think, but gives me some stuff. I put three or four people out of commission, did a lot of stealth kills.
What's interesting is Call of Duty Ghost. When I went to download it, when I bought it, that game is now. If you look at Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2 was like 3 gigs release. So what they added in, and I'm not 100% completely sure. A lot of it was the single player.
Right.
But if you look at the future of games, these next releases of games, and with all these next gen consoles coming out and everything, the future of games are multiplayer.
It's like our wire transfer's been
everything.
received.
Right.
There won't even be a single player. It'll just be a kind of an optional drop in, drop out multiplayer.
Right. Well, and that's interesting that you mentioned that because most of the good companies, the good franchises have already been going in this direction. We had Test Drive Unlimited 2. Lots of drop in, drop out. Granted, they didn't do it very well. So it didn't get as much play or talk time as it could have. But there's a couple games coming up by Ubisoft. I'm on an Ubisoft kick right now because they've been making some great games with some of their different developers. Games that I'm looking forward to are definitely The Division and The Crew. I'm not usually into driving games, but if you do something unique, turn-based games, while they're great in strategy and they tax your brain that way, you don't get as much a lot of times from those as you do a first-person shooter or a driving game where twitch reflexes and quick decisions mean a lot. For my life and most people's lives, strategy is good. Go ahead.
If you look at Total War Rome 2, the newest iteration of their Total War series, Total War Rome 2 added an interesting aspect to it. In their previous game, Total War Shogun 2, when you were attacking a castle, it went from turn-based to real-time strategy. They kept this, which was nice. But it was like you were just attacking, a small little village. It was just,
6 weeks ago,
four walls and a castle in the center, depending on what type of castle you were attacking.
Right.
He was willing to pay top dollar. It was a good deal.
This. You literally can control a single unit as you're running.
Hey, I supply a lot of people, okay? They don't usually go around targeting U.S. bases.
So they're starting to incorporate that.
All I know is
if
that
you don't
we're talking
keep
about
up with
the attack on the
keeping
embassy
track
in
on
Vienna,
where
like
your
they were
units
fucking
are
travelers.
and what they're
Hundreds
doing,
of innocent people died in that
just
attack.
like a first-person shooter, if you're not aware of your surroundings, you're gonna get killed.
Okay? And he doesn't leave.
Well, it is proven. People who play multiplayer first-person shooter games are better at switching tasks and quickly making decisions that are critical under high stress.
Keep you idiots from killing me over Guam, yeah.
Right.
Briggs, how do you feel about storing our new cargo?
We used to have this joke when I was at Basic that
What does that mean?
We'd have the Call of Duty fanboys that would come in
you and Charlie
to
try
the
and
army
dig up any
because they thought it was
information you
just
can
like
about
Call of Duty,
Coleman's mystery
and that actually was
Time to go
true
hunting.
for a few people. When we were on one of our FTXs, I was part of the attacking group, and so we're doing the attack on the other unit, and this guy literally. It looked like I was playing Call of Duty. This guy literally comes running at us and is just like holding his M16 like half sideways, half up, just like firing without even
By the way,
aiming.
Sam,
And
let
I'm
me
just
know if
like,
you want me to upgrade the plane. There's a lot of room for
I'm just
improvement.
like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people often forget as well. They play these games, and even in the game, because they've never experienced these weapons in real life, or it's just a game to them, they do things like that in real life. They don't realize that ammo conservation is of the utmost at all times. They don't iron sight, or they don't use the proper accuracy in sighting that they need to for the situation. There's a lot of times with a pistol, in a close range situation, you aren't going to iron sight as much as you use your laser or you use point and shoot. But you're being careful of your ammo. You're taking advantage of all the situation, and a lot of that stuff you just kind of have to learn and understand what the consequences of your actions are. And in that case, I'm guessing you guys took him down with a couple shots.
Well, we took him down in a matter of, I think it was about 2 shots. Because literally, we had, there was smoke blocking our path, all that kind of stuff. And, at first we were firing in and we could see who we were firing at. But then, obviously as a defensive tactic, they threw the smoke to try to get some concealment. And all you see out of this smoke is just him running through, and we're just like, oh, okay, bam, bam, right? And all of us, we're using our tactics. I'm stuck up behind a tree, just with as little of my body peeking out as I can, and my M16 up, and I'm leaning against the tree for support.
Right.
And then just to see him run up, and he ended up getting chewed by the drill sergeant, but.
Well, and there's a term in police training that I didn't hear in the military as much, except for in the higher level training, and I was surprised to hear it again here in police training. But it's true. Hold on, let's see here. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And it's not saying to be slow per se, but what they're saying is you don't have to run everything like you're running a sprint. If you're moving quickly, smoothly, that will be the fastest way to get your objective done. And, you know, that's something a lot of people miss, especially with these run and gun games. And, you know, I made the mistake here, as everyone has been watching. I just get into a situation where I make one decision that wasn't in line with the rest of the mission, a little bit too rashly. I have 5 people breathing down my neck. I get shot and I get killed. I was rushing it too much, or I wasn't correcting the decisions that I mess up on quick enough. Uh-oh, you're cutting in and out.
Briggs, everything okay?
Sure. Just not sure how I'm gonna explain Benghazi if I ever transfer back to the CIA.
By the time we're done, it won't even be a memory.
I hope so.
Good example right here of how you can choose co-op missions right here from Dude. Get my progress. Shows me some of my stats, which is kind of cool. Single player. I'm mostly Panther. That's because I've been choosing so many lethal things. Obviously, you want to be as Ghost as possible, but having a good mix of this is not a bad thing. Strike silently from the shadows are a couple Panther things. Well on my way with some pistol. Let me know when you're back if you hear this on the stream.
That's all for now.
I need to catch up with Grim. She needs some help running down the lead that Coben coughed up.
Or solo. That's co-op or solo. All sorts of really cool co-op options. Co-op only. That's really sweet.
I'm gonna have to do some digging, figure out what's wrong with my phone. I did notice something when I was booting up my phone.
Oh yeah?
It no longer says Samsung S4 active. It says Samsung custom.
You rooted it, right?
No.
You didn't root it? Because custom would indicate that you have a custom ROM on it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing is I haven't rooted it.
Well, I can show you how to root it, and that might fix some of your issues, but I'd have to do that at another time.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to call it quit for right now. We've done some really cool stuff. Maybe when you're back at your machine, we'll do another streaming.
Right.
I think we got through a lot of really cool things here. I hope everyone enjoyed this stream. If you have any ideas, questions, things that you'd like, give me a buzz.